power and telemetry nominal.
Now we've had successful liftoff of the Falcon 9 vehicle as it carries SHALE-2 communication satellites, a geostationary transfer orbit. Now we've cleared the towers and we are ascending. The next major milestone as we come up is max Q, that maximum aerodynamic pressure that the vehicle will experience as it goes through the thicker parts of the atmosphere. As we get higher, the density of the atmosphere decreases and there's less and less load on the vehicle. You should hear the call out for that soon.
Supersonic. Vehicle has passed through maximum aerodynamic pressure.
And we've had max Q, so again, decreasing pressure on the vehicle as we continue to ascend through the thinner parts of the upper atmosphere. Now we're coming up on a sequence here where a few events will happen in very short succession. Those events are MECO, stage separation, and then SES-1. Those stand for MECO, main engine cutoff, stage separation, and then SES, which is second engine start number 1, the first of the 2 planned burns today. And those are, MECO is when we shut off the 9 Merlin engines at the first stage, and then once we've shut those down, we separate the 2 stages, and then once the stages are separated, the second stage engine, the Merlin vacuum engine, is exposed to space and it will begin burning. That will happen over the span of about 10 seconds, starting about 20 seconds or so from now. Again, main engine cutoff, stage separation, second engine start.
MECO have stage separation.
Stage separation confirmed.
And recognition.
And we have had second engine start as the orange glow appears to brighten up the Merlin vacuum engine in the center of your screen. Again, transitioning the responsibility.
Spacecraft separation confirmed.
And there it is, a beautiful sight as SHALE-2 floats away, again, to provide communications from geostationary orbit. Today was a wonderful day. We'd like to extend a great thanks to our customer, SHALESat, for entrusting us with today's mission, and surprisingly, SpaceX's first mission ever to be attempted in the entire month of November.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. معالي الشيخ عبد الله بن ناصر الثاني رئيس مجلس الوزراء وزير الداخلية الموقر، أصحاب السعادة الحضور، سيداتي أن سادتي، كنت أود أن أكون معكم في هذا الاحتفال الكبير، والذي يثبت أن دورة قطر سباقة في القضايا التكنولوجية والتطوير التكنولوجي، مما أيضا من رؤية 2030 يجعل دولة قطر لديها نهضة صناعية ونهضة يعني ومتطورة. والآن نحن حققنا معظم الأهداف الرؤية. اليوم يشرفني أن أكون معكم عن بعد. كنت أود أن أكون معكم عن قرب، ولكن كلكم تعرفون الأحوال الصحية التي واجهتها، وإن شاء الله أنا بخير، وإن شاء الله أنني سوف أعود إذا الله أراد الشهر القادم. اليوم طبعا أنا يعني هذا الاحتفال اللي نشهده سويا لتدشين مرسل هواة اللاسلكي عبر القمر الصناعي سهيل سات 2، وهذا هي الأول مرة في العالم يكون هناك مرسل ثابت الهواء على قمر صناعي مثبت وثابت. وهذا طبعا نوعية يعني تثبت قطر كيف أنها سبرت الفضاء، وكيف أنها أيضا أصبحت يعني لديها أقمارها الصناعية، وأصبحت لديها البحوث بالنسبة لتطوير يعني تكنولوجية الفضاء. وأود أن هنا أركز بأن دولة قطر يعني كانت سباقة في إرسال هذا القمر الصناعي سات 2، وأشكر يعني إدارة سهيل سات على التعاون مع الجمعية القطرية للاتصالات السلكية في هذا العمل الفريد من نوعه. وطبعا نحن نرى أن جمعية قطر للهواة الاتصال اللاسلكي جمعية تطورت على الزمن، وأصبحت من أهم جمعيات الهواة اللاسلكي في العالم. الآن أنا طبعا سوف أنادي، وهذه لأول مرة ننادي على هذا
There you go. I was too busy looking at the list of people that I forgot to start the music on time. So apologies there. Well, what a list! What a net looks like it's going to be a good one today. So let's put the schedule up to start with. Well, that's just updated. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of us. So Leon to take it first, then it'll be Phil, and then MJ-OP2D, the expedition from Jersey. That's interesting. Look forward to that one. And thanks for registering on the net. And Simon, G4ELI, I know he's been busy, and be interested what findings he's been made. And Ed, good to see you, PY2RN. Let's see if it go up. Now I could think of lots of cartoons to do with that, Ed, but I think we'll keep it clean. And Mike, yeah, I presume you've got some problems with some overgrowth or growing of trees and things and such like, maybe. I don't know, I can't remember. And Graham, G3VKV, and Peter, GW7BZY. The two of you, I saw this and I was busy just writing them down on my list, and forgot to start the net. I've been here for ages, as you know. Anyway, I won't hold it too long. I've got. I'm going to just start with the player that I've been playing with. I'm not going to spend too long on it. That's a big failure. I've not turned my microphone on. Thanks there for on the talk back that we've got here. I'm not doing very well today, so we'll start again. So we'll close that down as we come on, close down. We'll start it up and go through it quickly again. Oh dear, just can't. Anyway, you've got two options once you've launched it. Play a stream, and you can put your stream in you want. So if we cancel that, I've got two that recent streams that I've got. That's the SRT repeater that I run, which is sitting on the bench here. Thumbs up, or the BATC stream. And obviously set a number of them up. And the advantage with this software, if it loses connection, it will reconnect. Let's go back to the SRT one. If you're connected on that one, it also gives you information on your connection, etc. There's various other things it does, but it's a really stable bit of software. And one of the other big things about it is it's free. We come back to there and we go to that one. Right, let's get rid of that. That's where you, I don't know if it's High Vision is how I pronounce it. Go there, download it, run it up, and it's a cross-platform compatible with the software. And I think you can do command line, not whatever that is, to control it. So if anybody wants the link, I suppose I could copy and put the link in whilst we're doing it. I'll just try and get something right. Right, that's the link to the software. Right, let's go back to me. I won't hold things up because it's a big net. I'm going to play at the end of the net. I've been looking at the VK boys have a net on Tuesdays, which is streamed on YouTube by VK3QL in. It's plus 10 UTC, which I get terribly confused. UK time is, I think, about 11 o'clock in the morning. Very good. But VK3 TTF did a part 2 to his controller that he was doing, and this one is Pico programming, and the ADF 4351 module, which I think is an oscillator that you can control between 35 megs and 4.4. So he's explaining how to control it from the Pico. So I'll play that at the end for those that are interested, which is me. Right, let's see. So I think it's over to Leon. There's other things that I can talk about, like the garden light laser, which I've been playing with. but we'll do that depending on how things go. So it's over to you there, Leon, and perhaps you won't make the mistakes that I've been making this morning already, and I've only just started from G8KE.
It's a good thing you mentioned that, Martin. I still had my microphone switched off. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody on the net. Okay, yes, that's a very interesting little recording program thing you showed there, Martin. I wrote down something. I hope I can find it. Could be very useful. Not much on this end. I'm expecting a visitor any moment now. ZR1 Romeo Mike. He's bringing one of his radios that he wants me to check the frequency for him. Anyway, the only thing I did, I can't remember, no, I haven't shown you yet, I don't think so, is I have been successful in my iron plating of copper. Don't know if you remember, I said I wanted to make some nice thick tips for my soldering iron. Now that's just an odd piece of copper. I ordered and I have received a nice 8mm copper, solid copper rod, pure copper, 3 meters long, so I can make lots of soldering tips out of that. But of course, pure copper, you make a couple of joints and then it starts to erode. The normal thing is you have to iron plate it. So that's a magnet. It doesn't stick to the copper, but after I've iron plated it, there it is. So my iron plating concoction that I made seems to be quite successful. And that's about the sum total of what's going on here. I'm busy assembling with the final assembly of the video transmitter for the Air Force. That's coming on nicely. I've done some test transmissions and it seems to be working okay. Right, I must give it to Phil, M0PIT for the group from ZS. Well, hang on, let me just at least go back to myself like that. So Phil, over to you. M0PIT for the group from ZS1 Mike.
Thank you, Leon. I'm just sorting out my screen. I don't want to look at a big image of me. A small image is bad enough. I want a big one. Yeah, Leon, I have a question. Many years ago, like you, I had to make a soldering iron bit that was about that long. It was to take off a piggyback circuit board with loads of pins on, and I needed to heat them all up, and I used like a piece of copper into quite a large soldering iron, and it worked, but the problem that I encountered was the copper rod that went into the soldering iron. It would oxidize, and because of the layer of oxide on it, the heat transfer from the iron to the bit was reduced. So after a short period of time I had to take it out, cool of course, take it out and then file it down again to get rid of the oxide. I'd just be interested to know if you've got any ideas on how to overcome that. anyhow, what have I been doing? Very little. I've been playing around with SDR console with my newly adapted Pluto Plus, which has got the fan on it now. Just playing around to see how stable it was. And yes, it is still very, very stable with the fan. So that seems to have worked absolutely brilliantly. So thanks for that, Leon. Another one down to Leon, suggesting I put a fan on it. Anyhow, so that's that. So what else have I been doing? Oh yes, right. The washer screen pump on the car packed up. I could hear the motor going, but nothing was coming out. And I've had this in the past, so it was a quick trip to the chemist or drugstore, whatever you like to call it, and I came away with some baby bottle sterilisation liquid. So I got that home, put a little drop on, or a little drop, probably, yeah, I don't know, a small, about an egg cup full, into the washer bottle, left it 24 hours, next day worked brilliantly. So that's a tip if you ever have a bunged up washer screen bottle in your car, and it does happen because fungus can grow in it, as I have found, and that's what obviously must have happened this time. But put something like that in there and it will kill all the mould, stroke fungus, and it will work. And it'll save you a fortune from taking it down the garage, and they would probably replace the motor. Well, there's nothing wrong with the motor, it's just a bit of fungus or whatever, is it mould or whatever, in the washer liquid. So that's that. And that's really all I've got to say. It is a big net, so I'm going to keep it very short, but I do have a challenge. My question is, what is that? I've got some photographs, so if I put some photographs up, and the question is, what is it? So there's one image of it, and here's another image of it. It's from an era of it's nearly as old as me. It's nearly as old as me. So the question is, what is it? So where am I? I've got to go back. Right, so that's me. I'll put it down there. So the next on the list is the team in Jersey, and I think it's Johan. So I'm going to put up a test card, and then I shall kill carrier, and it's over to the guys in Jersey. Oh, sorry, is it Jersey? Yes, Jersey. Test card. There's my test card.
Down. Maybe if they're still around at the end of round one, they can pop in at the end. Over to you there, Simon, with a pause just in case they've got things working from G8KOE.
Well, I didn't see anything, so switch over to the webcam. No, actually spoke to them this morning on sideband on the AMSAT UK net. I really asked them to change frequency because they started up on the frequency we use. Anyway, good afternoon, everybody. Been a very busy week working on my greenhouse. I may bore you with pictures of that a bit later. I wonder what the status is. With Gary. I just had a whinge from Mike saying I'm a bit quiet, so I'll just turn things up here. Just wondering how Gary's getting on. I'm a bit surprised he hasn't got his toys working. I've been spent quite a bit of time this week working on something called a Spectrum V6. Now, this is not for the faint of heart. It really isn't for the faint of heart. I'll just show you what these are. These are SDRs from Germany, from Aronia. I have one of these. I think the one I've got's the one on the right. In fact, it must be about €10,000, which is quite pricey, I know. Obviously, I didn't pay for it. Superb, absolutely superb piece of hardware. It's got an analog devices chip in it. It's the top of the range, same family as the Pluto, which I'm using at the moment. My goodness, though, I can stream from that at 245 megahertz. So it's really used for spectrum analyzing, but it does make for a very nice SDR. And I will be receiving a new one from them shortly, which I'll be able to use in full duplex crossband. And I'll be using it then on QO-100. So that's one thing I've been doing. Let's get the picture back to pretty old me. Otherwise, at the moment, there were complaints last week from Leon about noise and stuff. I discovered that there's a noise reduction option I can add into the microphone. I had a bit of a play with that. I've certainly done something, and I put in a bit more bass on the signal. But at the moment, what I'm doing is I'm trying to make SDR television more sensitive. And I've done some work on the Pluto filtering. I corrected a serious error with my matched filter. You have something called you've got to match the baseband shaping in the transmission, and you match it in your receiver. Well, I didn't have any frequency tracking in that filter. So unless the signal you were listening to or watching was spot on frequency, you would have suffered. And I'm currently looking at the forward error correction, the LDPC, and I found a repository which has got exactly what I'm looking for. Very aggressive LDPC code. So my task for the coming week is going to be to try and get that coded up, well, compiled up first of all, get that in place, because I think that should be where I'm losing my sensitivity. So that's about it for now from me. Nothing else. I will stay for a second round. I think the dog's harassing me to go out, but the weather's it's overcast. It's not particularly warm. So with that, I don't know who it is who's next on the list. I have lost the list. Bear with me. Oh dear, not very, not at all, not remotely professional here. Next on the list we do have, all the way from, oh, it's PY2RN, Ed. So over to you, Ed, from southwest England, from Cornwall, from G4ELI.
All right, and that feels good on you? yeah. Okay, good. Hey, are X-rays dangerous at all? Oh, buddy, you don't have to worry. They are 100% safe. No! 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 Please! Please! I don't want to die! I don't want to die! Holy man! I hate when I should have left him in there. Certain brains in the scrambled eggs.
That remembers me that there is one participant here that has an X-ray machine. I wonder if he's doing exactly the same. Hello, everybody. Greetings from the cold and rainy location where I live here. I was afraid that I was not able to transmit because I had problems with my power amplifier the past days, and now with the rain, the signal was too low. I changed my FEC, by the way, to 2/3, and I'm consuming. Yeah, I'm consuming 10 amps. 10 amps for the amplifier, so I'm overdriving it just to keep my signal. Maybe I can decrease a little bit. All right, great to see you all. Thanks, Martin, for hosting the net and for showing this application. Very interesting. And Leon with the experiment plating copper with iron. I don't know why iron. I need to plate my CW bencher here. You know, the pads are very bad, and I need to plate it with gold. But I have no. I have idea how to do that, but I prefer maybe take someone to do that. Phil, the piece you just showed, I have no, I mean, could not realize much details on the photograph or on your camera, but at the first glance, I bet it should be what a crystal oven, maybe a crystal oven. I don't know. I don't know if there is any place to put some voltage on that, but that would be my bet. Too bad that the expedition from Jersey didn't come up. Hopefully they can do that. Still can do that through the DATV Net. It would be very nice to see those guys on the expedition. And Simon just loved the dog at the beginning, and at the end, the blue screen that was great. And about sensitivity for SDR television sensitivity. Well, I tell you, I'm 7 degrees elevation. I have 1.5 meter prime focus dish. I mean, not the biggest one, to receive the DATV from this location, and I can tell you that I'm very happy with the SDR television sensitivity, how it is now. So if you're looking to improve it, it's going to be really great, because I was testing reception with my old RTL dongles, and they really worked like a charm. I mean, that was very impressed. I was really impressed. I mean, I have a couple of mini tuners, pico tuners, and and SDR television reception. I wouldn't say it's better, but very, very similar. Very similar. I do have talking about the expedition. I would show some last week on QO-100 short movie, but actually this is not from last week because I'm like 2 or 3 weeks off. So that's but I'm gonna show you anyways because I did it, and I will not waste my work here. So let me bring up this few operations over Qatar Oscar 100. So hope you guys, it's about 3 minutes video, okay? imagine something get wrong, and I need to repeat that myself. I had two videos running at the same time. So let's start over again. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, that was not exactly last week, but from the two past weeks, what happens on the QO-100, very interesting expeditions happened, and was lucky guys that was able to work them. I know that for the people here on the DATV, most of them are not into working DX over Qatar Oscar 100 or new grids or stuff, but I'm sure that many people that are watching, they like it. So that was the video. So no longer took too much time already, so going to Mike, Golf Zero, Mike Juliet Whiskey. I'll leave transmission with you now, Mike, from Papa Yankee to Radio November. Yeah, off.
Right, sorry, Windows yet again had changed the microphone device when it updated. I forgot to check. Right, let me sure I mute myself. So, hello everyone, not been on for a while. It's I've been away and will be away again, but I thought I'd come on this week just to show a few things. Good to see everyone again, and Ed, interesting films. And I've forgotten who has the X-ray machine. But yeah, interesting again. Right, so the shack is in a bit of a mess, I'm afraid, as usual. Whilst I was away, a lot of things arrived, and if I go to the bench, maybe you can see some of them. I'll go from left to right. On the left is one of these 10 megahertz reference oscillators, £6 each on a board. Apparently they're very stable. I have no idea because I haven't tried it yet. But we will see. Looks nicely made, so we'll find out. Then next to it, the thing with the flashing LED on it, that's a Modbus unit with relays, A to Ds, D to As, and digital inputs and digital outputs. Next to that is a Pi Pico with a screen that Colin G4EML has been working on to do a mode which is useful for millimeter waves and also for people who don't understand CW. It's basically an on-off keying protocol, and the reason that they need to use that rather than SSB or FM is it's quite difficult to generate that at these millimeter wave frequencies, and you're certainly playing for power. So every last decibel matters, and you get a lot more out with just the LO running flat out. So that's what that is. It uses on-off keying and syncs to GPS, so you don't have to worry about the timing. And it's almost as sensitive as CW. Well, I'm going to find that out. We'll find that out if it is. But I've so far only got to putting in a variable board a little bit of the interface that's needed to connect that to a radio. And then just to the other side of that is another Modbus unit, and I was banging on about Modbus last time, so I'll do that again. What I need to show you is the desktop, I guess. This is the software that I've written, so Simon can hide his eyes from the pain of what is going on here. It's a very, very simple program, and just to test it works. And if I run that program, something will happen on the relay box, but there's no point showing you the program running because it's not going to do anything useful. So what I need to do is go back to the bench, and then I'll run the program, so you'll have to believe I'm running the program. And did you see that red LED go on and off? So there you go. Now, that's not the only thing it's done. It's, as I say, it also set an analog output, and it read an analog input, and there's another screen I could show you, but not particularly interesting, which tells you what the reading was, which was checking at 0.5 volts, which is good because that's what I told it to put out. So so there you go. Now why? What's the point? It's connected via the Ethernet, as you can probably see, and it's to get around that problem of a remote PA, which needs an amplifier PTT. It's got 4 relays on it, this board, to turn them on and off the big linear, but it also needs an analog to digital converter to read the power from the power monitor, forward and reverse, and potentially switch other things on and off like power supplies, etc. So that's what it's for, and the reason I'm not using a multi-core cable to do all of that is because I don't have one running down there, so I got one of these things. They're about $20 to $25 or something like that, so not too bad. And the one to the far side of that I showed you earlier, I'll just show you again so you can remember, just above the clock, is a a simplified version with only 2 relays, but that one also has Wi-Fi. Of course, Wi-Fi with QO-100 is a sort of a one-shot operation. You turn on the PA and the Wi-Fi goes down, so you can't turn it off again. Been there, done that. Okay, what else was I going to mention? Leon's bit. I was being a bit cheeky saying it was a spark gap from a spark transmitter, Phil, but you did lay the ground for that by saying it's nearly as old as you are. To me it looked like either a mixer diode or a tunnel diode in a bit of waveguide, and I have several of those in my box of useful bits. Back in the day, back in the 80s, I remember using gun diode modules for 10 gigahertz wideband FM. Never really worked very well because in those days there were so many wideband FM broadcast stations. If you were stupid enough to choose an IF that was in the FM broadcast band, which most of us were, so we could tune it on an FM radio, you generally picked up FM radio stations or broadcast stations rather than other amateurs. Hey ho. Okay, right, let's see who's next. It's Graham, G3VKV, G0MJW.
G3VKV. Let's turn the sound down before I run into problems copying my own voice with a delay on it. I'll just get over to back to the picture. Right. Hopefully it's all in sync. So I can't check it at the moment, but I think it probably was last time I put it on. Quality's not so good this time. I've got the resolution down from one of those experiments I was doing the other day. So perhaps I'll turn it back up to what it was. Right. Well, I can decode it. See if it's there. Right, yes, very interesting chat from everybody. And, yeah, very interesting with Leon's plating there. I was interested to see how that would work out, but it obviously is plated. And I did work with U7T as well, would you believe, the other day. Just by accident, I powered up and there he was, so I give him a shout. It was probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think. And yeah, I saw that. I thought it was a piece of waveguide you had there, Phil. It looked like one of those ionization chambers that they have on the old wartime radar stuff, and a bit of waveguide 17 or whatever. And yeah, see, I think you can probably go back as far as me then, Mike, with gun diodes and things. I found a thing the other day, which if I can find it again, which might be applicable to that. Let me see if I can find it. I've got rid of the shack at the moment because it's a bit boring looking at that's the shack, in case anybody wants to see what the shack looks like. I'll see if I can find this one that I was just mentioning as regards to gun diodes. I can find it. Here we are. How about this one? If it all comes through okay, I could probably get it myself so you can read it. There we are. Back in the day, 1988, this particular chap, Philip, I think he's still around somewhere. He was using 7 milliwatts from an AEI module with 105 meg FM radio IF and a 450mm, 460mm PW dish. And he was over at Cobo Bay in Guernsey. So I worked GU with a gun diode. I was running 10 milliwatts. Also to a gun diode door switch operator, whatever you'd like to call them, burglar alarms. Here's a picture of him at the other end. There we are, Cobo Bay. Just happened to find that the other day. Let's go back. If I can go back to the right part where I was just now. Got too many things on this thing. Put it back on the shack. There we are. And I'll see if I can get myself back. It's all getting very complicated, isn't it? That's better. Right. Okay, on the high vision there, I looked at that actually when I saw what you were going to mention there, Martin. I thought, well, I'll go and have a look at this. I didn't quite get to read all of it, but it looks quite interesting. And I thought perhaps it was a Chinese do at one time, but it isn't. It's all in Chicago, isn't it, and in the States. So it's an interesting bit of kit. And interesting your SDR piece of kit. I've seen those somewhere on their website. I think that was something similar. Those SDR units that are very very high end. I've got one that goes up to 3.5G, all in one go, which is quite useful. You can probably guess which one it is. I managed to get it. It was bought for a project, and it's very very linear. It sweeps 1 gig a second over 3.5 gigs. And very useful for testing and just generally nosing around and using it as a spectrum analyzer, amongst other things. It's got 2 receivers in it. Right, I better keep it moving around. I see notice on there that Johan said he's hopefully going to be on, so I don't know when he's going to come in. I'll probably best to get it back. Well, it's got to be Peter next, isn't it? So perhaps try and bring him in again sometime and see if he's managed to get the equipment going over there on Jersey. So back over to Peter, GW7BZY. I think the transmitter's still working, it hasn't blown up yet. Over to you then, Peter, and get it run again with a bit of luck. G3VKV over to test card.
Okay. Just check that I've got some audio. Yes, audio, good, excellent stuff. All working. Apologise if synchronisation isn't there. Got somebody tell me in the chat. I think I put it as same as it was last time, but there again, I've been playing about with things. What have I been doing? I'll do my quick bit first. Talk about high end. So, Kit Plus, which is a company. Let's see if we get some audio. Okay, there we are, back audio again. They've got an auction, and they've got a very nice PXW Z750 Sony for sale. They've got 2 going, and the prices so far are looking good. I can't believe they'll stay down there, but that's about 40 grand's worth of kit. I'm not sure with the 40 grand you to get a viewfinder, but the interest doesn't seem to be very high. So someone looking to have the best amateur television picture in the world wouldn't go far wrong in purchasing one of these, and it would do you a lifetime of service. That's going. The auction ends on the 18th of this month, I think. Not long purchased a new car, so otherwise I'd be interested. I still might squeeze one, a decent offer in, I don't know yet, but had I not bought a new motor, I would be into it. It looks like it's going to go really cheap. So is anybody interested? What else am I going to say? Mike, yeah, nice bit of kit, useful. I have thought about that for mine, that type of thing, for the same reasons. But luckily in this location, although it's very loud and you can probably hear the fan, I took the regulator off it. It was taken down to 6 volts because it was getting a bit warm. Now it doesn't get warm, it just deafens me and gives me a headache. What else? Phil. Can't read what I said about that. Yeah, the software that Martin KO's mentioning, I've had a look at that. I'll download it and have a play. That looks interesting. And well done to ZS, that Mike, to Leon. Well done on your plating, excellent stuff. That's about really it, I think. Graham, yeah. Simon had some luck with the newer version of SDR television, and managed to transmit. No receive. I can't see any sign of receive working, but the transmit worked. Unfortunately, if you switched off transmit, adjusted anything, touched anything, even switching off transmit was enough to crash the program. So I'm still not having very much success with that at all, although a little bit better than the previous version. Now, whether that's to do with my computer, latest updates, who knows, but it's not working for me very well. So I'm still using the old F1 EJP, is it? I think I can't see. Mike, nice. Oh yeah. That's about it, really. I'll stay on for another quick blast. If anybody put up with me or not, I don't know. But yeah, got me list. That's it from GW7BZY. Stand by for the next. Shall we go for a test card? Can I remember what it is? Yeah, there we go. Different monitor.
Yeah, I've jumped in there quickly. I don't know whether Johan is there. So whether the DXpedition on Jersey are ready and want to have another go, I'll drop down and I'll put a test card and just drop off and see whether you're there. Fingers crossed. From G8KOE.
Okay, hello. So I hope you also got the audio at the beginning here of the transmission. So next to me is Johan, Oscar November 4, Julia Charlie Oscar. He's the one that operates everything that we have here regarding amateur television on QO-100. I'm Cedric, Oscar November 4, Charlie Killer Mike. He's my home call sign. And we're now going to give you a quick look around here in the shack. We can turn the camera around so that you can see what's happening now. It's apparently the propagation is not so great on HF at the moment, so they're mostly on FT8 rather than being on SSB or even CW. So apparently it's a little bit hard. So, but here you see several of our members. So we see, I'll quickly go over them from left to right. You see Patrick, Oscar November 4 Delta Charlie uniform. And standing up is Mark, Oscar November 4 Mike Alpha. Sitting down in front of that, Eric, Oscar November 4 Echo Charlie. Next to it, Anton, Oscar November 6 November Lima. And all the way to the right, you see Lauren, Oscar November 4 Charlie Golf. And of course, there are more people. We're a total of 15 here. So I hope that that gave you a little bit of an impression of how things are going here for us on Jersey. And I hope you enjoyed this view here. So, yeah.
Well, excellent pictures, I've got to say. Excellent sound and... Well, turn me down, don't want to listen to myself. That was really good. Really pleased you made it. Yeah, I know Ed said that not everybody's interested in the DX side of things, but I'm interested in what goes in the actual organisation of it personally. And absolutely superb. They all look as though you're enjoying it, which is the main thing. So thank you very much for popping up. I should think Ed will have and others will have a lot more to say, but the quality of the transmission through, absolutely brilliant. So thank you very much. And to Mike, who was going on about blaming Windows for audio updates, I was doing that earlier in the week. I had audio in OBS. I could see there was audio there, but I wasn't getting into my SRT system as such, and I was blaming all sorts of things, and I wasn't tackling it in a logical sort of way. But to cut a long story short, when I eventually found it, because the SRT receivers come in, then they go off to analog side of things. Let's put the other camera on. So they'll come in there, they go off to this high quality mixer, which then the audio was disappearing around the back there, and in line I have one of these devices. Now it's where I can see it now, but before it wasn't, and the audio jack had fallen out. So all my blaming of high-tech things and checking this, that and the other was nothing to do with that. So but I did blame Windows because it's an easy thing to blame. So and I will just quickly show other things that I've been up to, which is put on there and go to this time. Hopefully we're keeping the sound when I go to the screens. Make sure we got sound. Yep. That's my garden laser light. Purchased exceedingly cheaply. It was 40 when I got it, and the guy didn't want it returned, so we came to an agreement. Anyway, it packed up. It wasn't moving the lights anymore. The fault I had when I first got it was it didn't have any red, but that's what's inside the heart of the unit. It's going to move on a bit. You've got two lasers. the red ones at the back, and no, the green ones at the back and the red ones standing up. Let's move around there. That's right. So this one on the that's closest to you was the green one, which wasn't working, and it's because this plug had fallen off. Very short pins, but we managed to get that on and get that working. But then it stopped moving, and this motor, which that's looking from the top, and you can see the deflection side of things. I've taken the motor out. It was obviously geared up, and it revolves this round, and the lights all do all clever, wonderful things, except the motor didn't want to start. It kept stalling. In fact, I had a number of problems with it. The actual controller itself, I couldn't switch it on. There was dry joints in the actual main head, which we found. But then this wouldn't start, and or it would intermittently start. So I thought perhaps it was the grease and such like, and we degreased it and things and such like, and it still didn't work very well. In the end, we attacked it with WD-40. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. But we well and truly fix things with WD-40, and put it all back together again, working. Stopped working because the plug was a poor connection. Did I have a picture of a plug? But all these red ones go into a collection of plugs. Absolutely terrible. But last night it worked 100%. So whether it works tonight is another thing, because the price of the motor is almost as much as I paid for the whole unit. So anyway, that's what I've been playing up. Not 100%. As I said, I will play the VK video at the end when it comes back to me. It's programming the Pico, as I said, and it's the ability to use a Pico to control all sorts of things, which is just amusing with Mike there demonstrating another method. So interesting. Anyway, all beyond me, but all very interesting. Right, let's get things moving on. And if you can't find the link there, Leon, it shouldn't have any trouble in if you just search for it. But drop us an email or whatever if you can't, and I'll email it across to you. No problem at all. Right, let's pass it on to Leon. Oh yeah, of course I'm looking at the list, and I didn't. Before I go there, Peter, I think your sound was out of sync, but I'll let Leon say whether it is or isn't, because it could be me, and Simon, no or low audio. It's like me with no audio, but I had the All-Star Talkback, and luckily someone popped up on there and shouted at me, which works well, because you're not always, well, I'm not always looking at the chat, but I could do with, I would like on the receive, so I think I said before, something that really shows up that there's audio there when you've got it turned down, because it's something I asked, was hoping for on OpenTuner, which is what I'm using at the moment. If we go over to screen 2, that's the OpenTuner I'm using. I wanted a display on that, but Tom became busy, so it didn't actually materialise, but he did agree it was a good idea. So as you can roughly judge your level, you know, I used to have things that are displayed. Anyway, I'm now waffling, so we'll get out of waffle mode and put a test card and pass it round to Leon from G8KOE. Pass it round to Leon, G8KOE.
Okay, thanks Martin, G8KOE, and the group from ZS1 Mike. I've already switched off my one light because unfortunately I got up to Simon's over and then my visitor came, so I missed Ed, I missed Mike, I missed Graham, and I missed Peter. Sorry about that, but I'll listen on your second rounds if you do a second one. Phil, yeah, I've got here Hey Vision Play, Martin. I'll Google that and see if I can find that thing that you're referring to. Phil, that's the whole reason why your iron plate, the whole tip, then it doesn't oxidize, whether inside the element or outside, you know, where you handle the solder and the flux. That's why they do that. And Simon, yes, your picture is much better, and also your sound. I can hear you've got the noise gate on now, because when you stop talking, everything switches off and the hiss disappears completely. I think you've got it sounds like it's in the microphone. I don't know whether it's an electret microphone or what, because I think your hiss is generated there. Anyway, why you use a compander, I don't know, because we're not expanding on this side, so you shouldn't compress on that side. You're just making the low level noise louder. But your picture is good and your sound was good, so you've made major improvements there. Very nice picture. And then unfortunately I had to run around and get patch cables and stuff, and we checked ZR1 Romeo Mike's radio's frequency with the counter here, and it all looks good. It's within a couple of hertz, so that's good enough. Right, Phil, over to you. Oh yeah, Simon, yes, I have seen those SDR spectrums. We used to get a magazine at work, microwave something, and I often saw things like that, but yeah, I still prefer the real thing. Okay, Phil, over to you. M0PIT for the group from ZS1 Mike.
Right, thanks, Leon. Yeah, thanks for the info about plating a complete tip. That makes sense now. Okay. Yeah, I mean my iron that or tip bit that I made, very crude, but it did the job. But after about 10 minutes, I managed to take it out and file the bit that went into the soldering iron. But it was only basically, yeah, say a one-off. It wasn't really a one-off. It was more like about a 50 off. But yeah, I've still got a bit somewhere. I've never done it since, but it did the job. But yeah, right. The challenge for today was what this little thing is. Let's put a picture. I've enlarged the picture so you can, while I talk about it. There she is. It's quite a rare device. It's as Mike MJW, he got it right. It's a mixer diode, and it's for receive, and it sits in the waveguide. So the connection to the diode is on here somewhere. You can just see it there. That's the connection to the diode. Tiny little thing. There it is there. So there it is. It's a my brain's gone. Mixer diode. Of course it is. It's a mixer diode. It's for 35 gig or thereabouts. I think it goes from about 26 to 40 gig. But it's unusual because the date of it is about late 50s. When I was given some of these, let's put the cam back. When I was given some of these, I had no idea. I had a suspicion it was something to do with waveguides. I didn't really know what it was, and it took a long time Googling all sorts of things, and eventually I found one document which has a picture of these devices, and they are GEC, made by GEC, and they started production probably of those probably about about middle to late 50s they started, and yeah, and I've as I say, I've got a quantity of them. They probably don't work, but they're unusual components. So yeah. So well done, Mike. You got it right. And while I'm mentioning Mike, I don't have a prize for him, but those controllers that you've got down there, I think we call them Modbus. I'm very interested in the bigger one. If you could put a link up on the chat as to where I could get one from, I'll be very interested. My PA at the moment is controlled by an Arduino. It's over Ethernet, and it controls all sorts of things: temperature, PTT, the fans, and there's monitoring of temperatures and output levels and all of that. And I've done it on an Arduino, but I have been looking for another device to make another one rather than just use the Arduino. So one of those boards might do the job. So if you could put it on the chat, it would be absolutely brilliant. Right, so that's enough of me. I suppose I'm going to hand it back to Johan. Oh, sorry, not Johan. It's Johan. Down, and his team down in Jersey. So I shall put up a test card and kill carrier. So I'll see you guys next week. Fingers crossed. So here's my test card. Here it is. So as soon as I see my test card.
Yes, and here we are back, and now with audio. Yes, and here we are back, and now. Yeah, we had some RFE troubles, and that was the cause of the delay. I not gonna hold the transmitter long in the air because the Wi-Fi is also not happy with it. Okay, thanks for the opportunity to have us on the picture, and maybe we hear each other on some other band. Okay guys, see you.
So, come on, let's get this going. Well, looks like it's me. I was not paying attention, as is so very often the case. Okie dokie, right, well, as everybody else is playing videos, Here's a video. Now, this is from 80 meters. You're going to see SDR console in action. And it's Dave, GW3XHG, who, as you will hear, is a dog lover. It's only about 2 minutes long. Hope you don't find it boring.
Tony, we had to look after that dog of my daughter's back a few weeks ago, okay?
All right.
So, we got it here now, and they gave us a bag of food, and my missus bought some bloody fancy bloody stuff, you know, and that was it. Anyway, halfway through the period that we had it for, she said, I can't understand this. She said, there's a pack of food that dog food that I can't find, and I said, well, I don't know, I haven't seen it. I walked over to the fridge, and I said, well, there's nothing, I don't know where you put it, but there's nothing in the fridge. There's that liver pate stuff, and that's it. And there was a kind of a silence, and then she kind of became hysterical with laughter, and it turned out that I for the previous couple of nights, had a bit of toast after top band, you know. I've been spreading this bastard dog food on my toast.
Oh, you're kidding. I know the stuff, like in a little silver foil packet.
Yeah, well, I didn't know what the bloody hell it was. I mean, for God's sake, I mean, and Colin, I've got to say, it tasted quite okay.
Yeah, you know why he keeps barking.
You always say you wouldn't know a good meal from a bad. No, that's just what says it all, doesn't it?
My missus couldn't bloody. She was hysterical. She couldn't speak for about 5 minutes. She was laughing so much, and then she went on the bloody chat and told the kids. She told the bloody world all about it.
So there we go. That's my video contribution for today. So I wish everybody... Oh, I've still got the audio unmuted. So I wish everyone a good, pleasant afternoon and evening. Despite the fact that it's a bit cloudy here, I'm going to go and take the hairy hound out after the end of this round. So I'll be staying to the end. Peter, if you have issues running the software, let me know what the computer is you're running. But please don't say something like an i5. Need to know what generation it is, because although you can have an i5, for example, with a certain clock frequency, as they go through the generations, motherboards are steadily faster, chipsets are better. But you should be able to run SDR television without any issue if you've got a decent enough computer. I will be releasing version 3 once I get this LD PC. The parity check part of FEC. Once I get this working the way I want it. I mean, it's working, it's okay, but I'm just not digging down into the noise as much as I should. And so I'm going to be spending a week at least trying to get this other code working. I know it does work, and I know it works very well indeed. It's just a question of being able to compile it up on my own and integrate it. So with that, Ed, are you awake? Pass it over to you. PY2RN, this is the remains of G4 ELI.
Yeah, now with audio. Yes, I'm very awake, except for the to keep in sync with this OBS stuff. It's always very difficult. Very interesting history about the dog food. Yeah, very funny. Actually, I would like to to ask the expedition team. First of all, thank you for joining the DATV Net. I think we started with this DATV Net in September 2020, and that's the first time some of the expedition join us live on DATV QO-100 worldwide DATV Net. So thank you very much for that. Also, congratulations on the beautiful expedition, beautiful images. You know, I saw the scouts kids also participating on the shack. It's beautiful, very nice. Congratulations on that for all team, for all Mike Juliet stroke off Oscar Papa 2 Delta team. My sincere congratulations and all the best for you teams. And Johan, thank you very much for bringing this to the ATV. As a matter of fact, I'm if you don't mind, I'm putting this QSO on the log. I just put here Mike Juliet / Oscar Papa 2 Delta from Papa Yankee 2 Radio November. My grid locator Golf 66 Lima Whiskey. And I don't know how to report signal on the ATV. I don't know. You are what? D4? You are D4. Okay. If you can log at your side also, that will be great. I just logged at 3:20 p.m. 3:20 p.m. 15:20. And if you can log at your side, I would really appreciate. I'm gonna try to find you guys on the other bands or on the narrow band as well. But it would be great if we could confirm this QSO on ATV for confirmation purposes. The mode is ATV, not the ATV, not without the delta, just ATV, Alpha Tango Victor. Okay. Johan of Oscar November 4 Juliet Charlie Oscar. Thank you very much for that. Also, thank you very much for all the people here. Very nice, very interesting net today. It's rolling for 1 hour and 20 already, and wish you all great Sunday, a great upcoming week, and hope to see you again next weekend. 73. I'm gonna leave with Mike. I believe he's still there. Golf 0 Mike Juliet Whiskey from Papa Yankee to Romeo November. Sending to you, Mike.
Right, thank you, Ed. Hopefully you're getting my signal. Yeah, all very interesting. Good net. So good to see. Nice to see the DX edition station. HF there, I guess, up to 4 meters. Just over the water from Simon, actually. So I expect he's heard you. I heard you earlier on the QO-100 narrowband, but I didn't know what it was. But never mind. I don't do very much narrowband myself. Right, okay. And now that 1/3 of the world knows that that particular camera is for sale at £245 under auction, Peter, I'm sure there won't be any more competition. Right. And Simon, good to see the progress. Looking forward to the version 3, and I don't know if you need anything to make things more challenging, but signal strength might be one of those. Everyone's been strong today. The problem is when you have people who are right down in the noise at 1/4 FEC, so that's going to be the challenge. Right, I have nothing much else to say. I won't be on next weekend, so I'll pass it on
In fact, I won't be on the weekend after because it's the microwave not RAL round table. So it'll be a few weeks before I'm back. With that then, round to G3VKV, who presumably is also coming to the round table. G0MJW.
One, two, three. G3VKV. Testing audio. See if we can get a picture. Right. Turn the audio down a bit more. Yeah, all very interesting from everybody there. And last things first. No, I wish I could, Mike, but I'm not in a state to be able to travel anywhere at the moment. I haven't been for several years, so I might look at if I'm okay on this film, but I can't travel any distance. So I'm backwards and forwards to you know where quite often. Up to my 5th operation, so I wish I could go. A long time since I went to actual RAL. I think last time I went was well, no, when they moved it, didn't they? They moved it on the same site, and then they moved everybody off the site on the next one. So I don't know what I'm missing. Well, I do know what I'm missing. Lots of good chat and quite a few good purchases, probably. Must get me at the right size. There we are. That's the just before I answer some or comment on the other points made. That's where I live. That's Cheltenham down below. That's the local mast which the microwave beacons used to be up on. They were where these two dishes are. They're on the middle mast, and they took it over. That's the only thing left on it now. Is these two big dishes. So all the microwave stuff has gone off it, I'm afraid, like other sites. But it's a real good site, Cleve Common, GB3 CCX. I'm located up in the top left-hand corner of the, I'll put a little arrow on there really, top left-hand corner of the picture. There's 2 bits of hill, one cross over the other. I'm nearly on the top of the first bit of hill, so I can see right over the town. I can see the mast from here. So I got there. Yeah, fine from the expedition. Yeah, it's always fascinating to see all the cabling involved and filters and different rigs. I've got a film of the lads down at French Guiana, which is quite an interesting film. The speed they work, well, everybody on the competitions and when they're on the expeditions, the speed at which they work everybody and the strength of the signals that are coming in as well. But obviously, you put up as good aerial as you possibly can, and you probably haven't got so much noise on that particular site. And yeah, I didn't realise the size of that thing there, Phil. I didn't look at the ruler, or I should have looked when you were picking it up. It's a lot smaller than I thought, but it looked a bit like a ionisation chamber on a radar, off a radar unit, which, as Mike says, sometimes have got radioactive gas inside them, so you don't want to break them apart. And as regards to Wi-Fi, yes, channel 1 is the worst. If you've got agile Wi-Fi, it tends to move off far enough so you don't get too many problems. But yeah, you can see the stations on channel 1 Wi-Fi move when I come on. Mine's on 11, I think, at the moment, so it's fixed. It doesn't move. But there's not many locals around here, actually, fortunately. But they slide away, and it doesn't seem to affect their data rate, according to me looking at the stats on the channels. So yeah, fortunately, if you're in a rather block of apartments or something, or in the middle of a big town, I should imagine it would be quite a problem. We got on here. So I'm trying to read my own notes. Oh yeah, we're waiting for version 4, and yeah, mine's ready to go now, Simon. It's working. I just haven't routed it across the room into the cabling. It goes to the PA. It's all set up at the right levels on a different computer. So I'll try and get that going for next time, and you have a go with it, transmit and receive. But all seems to be working fine. Okay, I better keep it moving because everybody's one little bit. I won't stay too long on it, but a little bit of film. If I can find it. Where are we? There is it. No, it's not that one. That one. somebody very kindly took some pictures of the local heritage railway. Should make a noise in a minute. And a bit of pollution. I won't leave it on too long because we're a bit short for time. There he goes. How about this if you just put your washing out? I won't use up too much time. It's a lot of things people have got to answer, or we want to get on to a bit of film I think Martin said he's got. So I'll put it on round to go to now. Goes to Peter, BZY, and I say very good to have the expedition join in, and hope you managed to work a lot of stations. And you see all that cabling there, the effort involved in putting a thing on like that must be horrendous. There we are. And all good that you're doing it. Right, back to Peter, BZY, G3VKV, back to test card.
I'll assume Peter's gone. Anyway, he can come after I've played the video. I'm going to play a video which is VK3 TTF Part 2. That's off the VK Net on a Tuesday. I pulled it off. It's and also it's programming the ADF 4351 module, which I think covers from 35 megs to 4.4 gigs. So we'll play it and see where we go. From G8KV, here we go.
All right. Hello, everyone. Yeah, it's been 3 months since my first transmission now. This is my third net. I didn't get on last week's, just didn't get quite ready enough for that one. So yeah, third net in, 3 months. It's all threes tonight. I may even have 3 pieces of things I want to go through, so that would be good. Yeah, for Peter, 3BFG, I've actually been feeding into Flat Radar 24 for 13 years now. So yeah, I'm a Rabin 1. I was the very first person in the southeast of Melbourne to actually feed into that. So that's pretty cool. Been doing that for as long as I've been doing some of my satellite work as well. So tonight, a bit of agenda, a bit of an update on the controller board from a couple of weeks ago. I just want to pick one component, sorry. The VCO, the oscillator. Just talk about that and the libraries I use for that one. And go through doing a bit of a live demo with the Raspberry Pi Pico on that one. I'm breaking all the rules of TV. Don't work with kids, don't work with animals, don't do live demos. Hopefully it goes alright. And if we've got time, I might do one thing, but I think I probably might leave that to the next net as well. So really, controller update. So I haven't really worked on that specifically in the last couple of weeks, but I do want to thank VK3IE for forwarding it on to the BATC guys. And I know Martin, G8KOE, is watching tonight, hopefully. I can see him on the YouTube. So all good. Thank you for sharing that one. Hopefully lots of more updates and things like that coming in the future. On that one, I'm just going to turn my lights down. I think that's a bit too washed out on my face. Yeah, so hopefully some more updates on that one coming soon. So tonight though, I want to go through some Raspberry Pi Pico. These are not Raspberry Pis, these are Raspberry Pi Pico. It's a very different platform. and I'm going to take you through and hopefully actually get one out of its package and set it up all working live tonight. So we'll see how that goes. But the focus of that one, why I want to do that one, is around the little VCO modules. So you guys might have seen these modules. I think quite a few people actually use these ones. This little module you can get off your favorite Chinese website. It's got the little oscillator in its screen and some buttons so you can configure it all up. What I'm using for the actual ATV controller is it's got the same RF chip on it, but this one here. So instead of having the screen and everything like that, we've got a little pin header to actually plug into something else to control it. So based on that one, yeah, obviously you can't do much with the board as it is. On people that would have seen the original post, this is actually upside down on my controller board, so it plugs directly into the board and is actually controlled. So what I want to do now is change over hopefully to this. Does that work? Yes, that looks good. So these are the Raspberry Pi Picos. So these are a little, sort of like a bit like an Arduino. I'm sure everyone's heard of that. A little bit more powerful. Arduinos are usually sort of 10 to 16, maybe 20 megahertz. These are actually dual core 133 megahertz. And these ones have got Wi-Fi on them and things as well. This one I'm holding is actually only about $6 to buy. The most expensive, the version 2 with the Wi-Fi, is about $12 Australian. So these are really, really cheap to play with. And I'm actually using one of just these cheap $6 ones in my ATV controller, running the web interface and everything on that. So they do a really good job. So what I want to do is just take you through these, and then I'll do a quick demo of just getting one working to show you out of the packet how quickly it actually is to actually set and use one of these up. There's no compilers or anything like that. They actually natively just run Python code, really easy to implement. So these two on the left here, these are version 1s, with and without Wi-Fi. So with the little can, it's got the Wi-Fi built in as well. Pico 2, so these are just a bit faster. They've also got a separate ARM core that people are sort of just working out what to do as well. I think they're 150 megahertz by default, if I remember correctly, with and without Wi-Fi as well. So, but yeah, if you don't need Wi-Fi in my controller, for example, I'm doing Ethernet. I wanted to keep 2.4 gig out of my controller. Literally these ones without Wi-Fi are really, really good. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, let's actually get one of these out of the packet. So I'm going to grab this Wi-Fi one, and yes, you can see it's still got the plastic on it. Let's pull that off. Open it up. Hopefully I can hold it up and you can get a really close look at that one. Let's turn that up the right way so everything doesn't look really horrible. But yeah, that's it. So that little chip in the middle, that's the actual microcontroller. If I've got a little pointer here, this chip here is actually the storage. That's the flash storage it uses to store the programs and everything like that that you actually run off it. So one button, boot select, and there's other debugs and things like that as well. But you've got lots and lots of I/O compared to an Arduino like the 328s and stuff. You might have 10, 15 pins. You've got about 25 pins of I/O on this one. So it makes it really easy to integrate with lots of stuff. So all I'm going to do is, yeah, actually let's plug it in. So the first time you plug one of these in, you'll actually hold down the boot select button. It's just one of the little micro switch buttons. You'll probably hear me pushing it there. Hold that down whilst you plug it into the computer. Just uses a micro USB cable. Let that go, and that sits there. Hopefully that's work. I didn't hear my computer go bing because I've got it on mute. Actually, I want to put that there for reasons that will be obvious shortly. Hopefully that focuses. Cool. Now I'll flick you back over to the computer, which is that screen there. So this is Thonny. This is a little bit of software you use to program them. There's a few other ways you can use as well. This is just super duper simple. When you plug one in, if I click stop, yeah, it's because it's brand new, it doesn't have an interpreter on it. What we've got to do here is go up to options, interpreter. It just comes up when we click that boot select button, it just comes up as a drive letter. It's an RP2. This is, I've chosen the Wi-Fi version 1, so I want that one there, not the 2W, just the 1W for wireless. And usually I just grab the most recent version. So what this is doing is actually downloading like a Python command interpreter onto the actual chip itself. And when you actually upload, it actually effectively compiles and runs in real time. There's nothing you need to do on your computer. All the code that you write is actually stored in normal human readable text on this device. And if you plug it into another computer, take it over to a friend's place or whatever like that, they can put it in their computer and actually see your original effectively source code, because that's actually what runs on the device. So it makes it super duper simple. And there we go. I was worried it wasn't going to work there, but it is done. We can close that. If we just click stop, we should get, hopefully, I might have to just do an unplug and plug. I did test this on another one earlier and it did work, so hopefully we don't get demo gods tonight. There we go, cool. So down in this corner I've now got a Raspberry Pi Pico. That's the hard work done. What I've got here is a little Blinky app. So this is just Python, MicroPython to be specific. We're just importing a couple of modules. So machine just lets you control the I/O ports. Time lets us do a sleep. We're setting up the LED because we just want to flash it. And what I'm actually going to do is, hopefully this way, so if I click that button there, you can actually see what's on my desk as well at the same time. There will be a bit of a delay from the camera to what you're seeing, so if the ons and offs don't align, that's why. But if I just click play now, you can see the little light flashing. So that's as easy as it is to get these little $6 boards up and running. So Thonny's free, you can just chuck it on your computer. You don't need to get libraries or anything, these are all just built in, and you've got yourself a flashing light, that easy. What we're going to do now though is build on it. So what I actually use on my controller board is the ADF 4351s, as I showed you pictures of. So the one I do use, let me just literally chuck it, so it's that one there you can see there that you saw in the picture before. Is it going to focus? There we go. So yeah, with the header. It's not plugged in obviously right now. The module actually just ignores it if it's not plugged in. I'll catch you up with that later. But to actually make one of these little VCOs work, I've actually written a library. All you need to do, so we've got a blank Raspberry Pi here. I've got this library for the ADF 4351. We just upload it to slash, which is the root directory of the Raspberry Pi Pico, and you can see it's just files that it actually uploads to this board. We can grab our test file, and I've got a frequency just set in here. 433 is just obviously a very classic free frequency. If I click play on that now, we've actually, if the oscillator was plugged in, it would now be enabled and outputting a 433.5 megahertz sine wave. It's that simple. So using these libraries, you don't have to worry about all your compiling and mucking around with things anymore. Super duper simple. All I've got here is a 10-second sleep, and then it's disabled it, and we can see there that it's actually dropped back to the prompt, so the program's finished running. So it is that simple to control these boards. These boards that I'm actually using here that don't have the microprocessor built in are actually about $20 cheaper than the ones with little screen and the buttons on them. So you can actually buy 3 Raspberry Pi Picos as well as one of these boards for the same price as one of the others. And then obviously using these Picos, in here obviously I've just got a program where I've set the frequency. If people are interested, I'm happy to actually expand on this next week, and we chuck a switch in, and you could actually have a switch inputting to choose, say, 2 different frequencies. Let's say RTV1, RTV2 or something like that. Lets you easily flick frequencies, and it's whatever you want to do. You have 2 frequencies, 4 frequencies, whatever. You can program it to whatever you want. All you do is you set the frequency to the correct number that you want, and it will program the VCO to output that one. So because those VCOs, obviously you've got to reach in, open up your transmitter and change the frequency if you needed to. This could literally just be a toggle switch in front of your transmitter box. So much simpler. So yeah, they're very interesting little boards, very easy to play with. If you guys actually are interested, I actually have chucked up on GitHub. This is the library page up on GitHub. The link is in our Amateur TV Australia Discord page as well if you want to get to that. Otherwise, just search on GitHub for this one. All the information around the pinouts, where to connect it up to the Raspberry Pi Pico. Chucked it all up there for everyone to have a look at. as well as some sample code and everything as well. So that just makes it super easy for anyone to actually go and give this a try. I mean, and this is just one thing you can do with these little boards. So I'm obviously writing quite a lot of other modules and things for the controller as well to control other bits and pieces too. So hopefully that will interest quite a few people. So yeah, that's probably mostly it, I think, for tonight. If people are interested in a few other Pico little projects, hit me up. I'm happy to do a few other little sessions, as well as obviously our ATV meetup late July. If people are interested in that, I'm happy to, if people want to put it up, I could purchase a heap of them and bring them in. If people want to bring laptops or whatever like that, we could actually program a few up if people want to give that a try, just because they're so handy. I know even people have the little relays on their controllers as well. You could do Wi-Fi on these with, I think, about half a dozen lines of code, and you can have something on the Wi-Fi that you can then control with. So it could do everything, very similar to what the controller is, just a baby version of what I'm working on. So really useful little boxes. So I think just because it's after 9, my next segment I'll actually leave to probably next week. Yeah, I think people are probably ready for bed by now. So after that, I think, Ian, if you want to take it back. Yeah, thank you. All good. Thank you all. All good. Thank you all.
Right, there we go. Hope some people found that interesting. And Net's been absolutely superb. Really, really pleased with the number of stations and the DXpedition from Jersey. Brilliant. So, and I hope you get confirmation there, Ed, on the contact. So I think I'll close the Worldwide Net. I shall be monitoring just a little while, but look forward to seeing you all next week. 7-3's all. Let's just put up a little test card and we go.